Might have been the place to be at the start of the year, but if you want to see something really spectacular, look what's been happening down the road at the Valley. Ten wins out of 10 have taken Alan Kirbish's team to the top of the Nationwide League and into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Tonight they're looking to extend the 4-point lead at the top of Division 1 with win number 11. But their opponents Fulham have had their moments too this season, and they're still in the hunt for the promotion playoffs. Highlights of that London derby coming up. Plus the second division side that stands between Chelsea and a place in the semi-final of the FA Cup. We join Gillingham as they prepare for the biggest game in the club's history. Hello, yes, we're concentrating on the form team in Britain. Charlton are on an incredible run at the moment, unbeaten in 13 games. And this is the start of another massive week for them, with London rivals Fulham tonight and then that FA Cup quarter-final against Bolton on Saturday. With me in the studio tonight, a man who's been in the thick of the action in Division 1, Queen's Park Rangers, Gavin Peacock. We'll be getting Gavin's views a little later, and looking at two other promotion rivals in action tonight, Birmingham and Blackburn Rovers. But first, it's to the Valley and another crowd of more than 20,000 waiting to see if Charlton can keep their winning streak intact. The commentators are Wimbledon captain Robbie Earle and first, Peter Drury.
Is there anywhere in English domestic football right now a more vibrant venue than the Valley? The team is winning, the turnstiles are spinning. Oxford Street was as packed as this with pre-Christmas shoppers the last time Charlton were anything other than victorious. So why change? Answer, they don't. Mark Kinsella still isn't fit, so Steve Brown retains the armband, as well as a position at the heart of a back four, still minus Youth and Shields. Up front, some were pointing up the possibility of a first start for Matthias Svensson, but Martin Pringle remains the striking Swede, in partnership with 18-goal Andy Hunt. He scored only 7 in the whole of last Premiership season. This year's harvest, though, could sow the seeds for a richer top-flight crop next year. Mind you, Fulham's is the second meanest defence in the division. Its 2 consecutive clean sheets have yielded 2 consecutive wins, which incidentally have coincided with Terry Phelan's first 2 games since his free acquisition from Everton. Goals, however, have been a problem at the other end. Only 2 clubs have scored fewer at this level. No league goal from open play since November, regardless of which, and despite Karl-Heinz Riedle's renewed availability, Messrs Horsfield and Hayles remain in attack. Simon Morgan is preferred at the back to Kit Symons. This too then is Saturday's side. Birmingham referee Andy Hall is in charge at the Valley for the first time. It's a London derby which hasn't taken place for the greater part of a decade. Charlton started seeking a new club record 9th straight league win. So far it has been their perfect year, and their only potential problem, it seems, Robbie, would be any mistaken belief that they are already back in the Premiership.
Yeah, I'm sure tonight Alan Kirbish's main concern for his troops is they don't become over complacent. No, they have been on a great run, and there can be a tendency when you're on those kinds of runs just to turn up, put on your shirt and think you're going to get the points. But they are playing tonight a resurgent Fulham team, come off a couple of good results. It's a big London derby, and Fulham know tonight if they can get 3 points, that puts them right back into the playoff fray.
Robinson. Newton. To turn out of trouble, and did so really adroitly. Barness sold Newton short, and there's no keener player to get onto an indiscretion like that than Lee Clark, who was held back by Robinson very, very blatantly in the view of everyone.
Just a case of overpassing there by Charlton. I feel they try to be a little bit too intricate. In the end, Robinson had to use a professional foul to stop Lee Clark breaking, which was a good opportunity there for Fulham on the counter-attack.
Offering to share the shirt, John Robinson, who now has defending to do. Robinson booked. This is Melville. And long towards Horsfield, who held off Rufus. But he is a big strapping Yorkshireman. who is not averse to becoming involved in the physical side of the game.
And that's a great weapon that Fulham have got. While they can pass and play through midfield, they do have that option with the size and the strength of Horsfield to play those balls to the far post, and he's got the physical presence to make something of those situations.
Lofted it through the middle. The clearance came to Barness, who'd wandered infield from his right-sided berth. Robinson's played it inside of Goldbaek. This is Powell with a chance to cross. It was Newton at the back post, and his header got a deflection off Phelan and earned Charlton a corner. Their best move of the game so far.
A great move there. Good interplay by Robinson. Saw his fullback going outside him. A lovely weighted ball. And Powell just stands this one up with the back stick, asking his forwards, can you get on the end of it? And Terry Phelan defends excellently. As Charlton have an attack now and put some pressure on at the corner.
Those weeks and months in Everton's reserves don't seem to have dulled the wit of Terry Phelan, who's defending well in the early stages and maybe called upon again now. Robinson's corner did in fact deflect off him and came back to Todd, who was always going to struggle to get over the volley.
It was a poor ball in fact from Robinson, not his best delivery. It ended up inadvertently falling to Todd, who had to rush his shot, didn't quite get over the ball and skied it behind. But encouraging signs there from Charlton. Ball gets inadvertently, falls out to Todd on his edge of the box, doesn't control the volley and gives Taylor, doesn't worry Taylor in the Fulham goal.
Oh, Brown ran into trouble with Hayles and Kiely came out and made himself big enough to create partly an impediment, but it still came to Clark. Phelan was arriving at the back stick. Charlton had just enough numbers back and Robinson further clear.
Great positioning there from Steve Brown as Clark broke through, looked up, saw Phelan coming down the far side, and it was Steve Brown's experience that took him into the place where the ball was going to be and made a great clearance, stopping the ball coming through. It was Hayles' pace again that started the problem, but as you can see it was Brown who made his way behind his goalkeeper, and as the ball came across, he's the man on the spot to clear the ball and clear all the danger.
That is a classic case of atoning for an error. You dug us into this position, Mr. Brown, you dig us out, and he did. Finnan. Horsfield through the middle, Clark square. This is Lee Clark, Phelan far side. Horsfield inside left channel, Finnan inside right, he had a go himself. And at best it was speculative. Well held up by Hunt. Saw off Melville that time. Now Robinson. Game starting to tick a bit now. Hunt. Wide from Rufus. That's asked an awful lot of Newton. He's kept it in play and he might do even better than that, Sean Newton. That's terrific. Real will to win and to retain possession and to pick out Robinson. Not by Finnan.
Saw some of the best things of Sean Newton's game there. His running power, his will to win, his enthusiasm all came out in that moment of action.
Finnan for Clark. Hayles. Oh, the ball was incidental for a while there, but Hayles kept it at his feet despite Powell's attention. Powell though has the last laugh. Will it be the longest? Pringle prevents it from so being.
Just get the feel that Lee Clark's just starting to have an influence on the game now. He's getting his passing movements, he's breaking forward. Now, if I was Alan Kubisley, I'd just be a little worried that he's starting to now dictate the pace of the game.
Pringle, Newton. Bit of noise now, bit of feel. Newton thought about having a crack, pushed Barness wide instead. Hunt is near post, Pringle's far post, Stuart in the penalty area as well. It came to Pringle, who mistimed his jump entirely. He's one of those awkward, gangly strikers who sometimes comes off, but when he doesn't, occasionally looks a little ungainly, and that was one of the more unfortunate incidences.
I think in fairness he was a little surprised that the ball came to him. Maybe thought Andy Melville was going to get his head to the ball and was found a little surprised when it came and the chance went away begging.
Newton for Pringle, only Hunt in the penalty area from an attacking viewpoint right now. Stuart. Lost possession and saw it fall into the path of Clark, and for a moment it's 3 against 3. Goldbaek one way, Horsfield now in the penalty area, Hayles back stick, Goldbaek to attempt the pull back, and Brown got it clear, and Fulham didn't take advantage of their numerical advantage there.
That was a great advantage there for Fulham as they broke forward. Clark broke forward, good crossover movement between Horsfield and Hayes to make the space for Goldbaek. In the end, it's a poor ball back, and the chance has gone when there was a great opportunity to maybe put a goal on the table.
Finnan. That's Robinson, but it broke kindly from Fulham's viewpoint for Morgan. By Brown, who's been a very busy defender one way or another. Great servant to the club though. A one-club man who steps in at right back, centre back whenever called upon. No Eddie Youds at the moment, no Greg Shields, the great white hope from Scotland. Goldbaek. Hayles to hold it up and to turn. He couldn't get a shot away though because of Rufus's close attention. Hunt for Robinson, who's asking Pringle to do the impossible.
Not really seen much of Charlton as an attacking force so far. Andy Hunt has been almost anonymous in the goal. There's a half chance there. Good defending really. Let's credit Richard Rufus for getting his body in between the ball and Hayles.
And here's Barness with as much space as he's had for a while. Newton. Forward by Todd. And out by Melville. Barness with the throw. Robinson turning neatly. Lifted in by Barness. Up by Finnan. Further clear by Phelan. And decent strike from Anthony Barness, which, fortunately from Mike Taylor's point of view, was straight at the goalkeeper because he hit the left-footed strike really sweetly with minimal backlift, but with sublime timing. Stuart. Newton. Pringle, chance, good save. That is the first time a striker has seen the whites of a goalkeeper's eyes, and Pringle attempted to lift it over Taylor, who made himself big and snuffed out the opportunity.
That made the first part of the job excellently. Pringle made a magnificent run, went in and then pulled off the back of Melville, did the first thing brilliantly like I say, then had the opportunity to go past the keeper and didn't really make his mind up. It was neither a chip or neither a shot. But we can watch the first thing if we see it on tape. Look how he's lost Melville by drifting away. Now he needs to get the ball onto his right foot and maybe guide it down the side. And in the end, it's neither a chip, neither a shot. Gives Taylor the chance to smother his opportunity, and a good opportunity that's been spurned now by the Charlton side.
Pringle held off it again by Melville, who for the most part is doing a splendid job of defending the Swede, but who was let off the hook and saved by his goalkeeper a short while ago. Finnan. On by Hayles. Touch from Horsfield, who's galloping clear again now, having been set free by Clark. That is a fine sliding tackle by Rufus, for whom there was very little margin for error. He could easily have taken Horsfield's ankles away from beneath him, but he timed this really so well.
Can't afford to miss that one there. Horsfield's, if Richard Rufus doesn't make that tackle, Horsfield's in on goal, and he started the game in excellent form. Richie, he's someone I've been surprised none of the big Premiership boys have had a look at.
Finnan played it in, out by Rufus, and again ambitiously by Clark. That would have been an oil painting to hang on the lounge wall for Lee Clark, but the connection wasn't good enough. So he smudged it. Kerbishley, who Kevin Keegan touted as a future England manager the other day. It's not a job I'd like, he says. Paul Bracewell, who succeeded Kevin Keegan a year on.
Just feel at the moment that the back three of Fulham are coping quite easily with the threat from Pringle and Hunt. While either Coleman or Melville get tight, Morgan's able to sweep around and make sure that there's no bits and pieces dropping, and at the moment Charlton just can't seem to get any momentum going forward.
It's been a first half light on events. Charlton, who've scored as many goals in the First Division and more than anyone but Manchester City, might have got the only one through Martin Pringle. He was denied by a good sprawling save from Mike Taylor in the Fulham goal. Otherwise, the rain has been the winner, and there's nothing to choose between them. Join us in the second half, but at half-time at the Valley, it is Charlton 0, Fulham 0. We take a break. Come back to the Valley, where another sellout crowd illustrates just how far both clubs have come in recent years. Last time Fulham visited Charlton 9 years ago, 3,027 were at Upton Park. Well, now it's 20,000, but Charlton really need a goal now to cheer them, and Robbie to go 7 points clear at the top.
Yeah, you feel through the good management and the strict housekeeping that's gone on at Charlton, the setup's right now for return to the Premiership, but they do need to still put in the performances, still get results, and tonight to see off this Fulham side and get themselves 4 points clear at the top of the table.
Hayles for Fulham, who themselves still have an eye on the playoff 6. Melville, Finnan. Foul on Finnan by Robinson. Clark lifting it in. Horsfield's back to goal. Horsfield turning. Well charged down by Richard Rufus, who's been as strong as an ox in the first half and has started the second period in a similar vein. Stuart. Barness. Pringle couldn't keep it in.
It's quite ironic at the start of the game when I was talking about maybe Charlton being a little bit overconfident and Alan Kirbysley maybe warning his troops against that. I think at half-time Alan Kirbysley might have gone on and actually gave him a boost and said, hey boys, we're coming off the back of 10 straight wins, come on, let's play with a bit more confidence, let's play as though we're a team that's sitting top of the table, they could be going 4 points clear.
Finnan, Horsfield, away from Rufus for a split second, but Rufus was strong enough and quick enough of thought and movement to slide the ball behind. This is another terrific tackle.
That's brilliant play by Richard Rufus. Sees the danger as it is, Horsfield pulls off his shoulder, and you can't get those tackles wrong. That's fantastic timing, and it's a fantastic anticipation. You see how he turns his body round, and that's magnificent timing to clear it and give Fulham a corner.
Over which is beyond a Goldbaek. Powell there dealing with the near post. It's gone back post, though. Coleman tried to climb and felt that he was denied the chance to do so. His accusing look at the referee, though, yields nothing, and Andy Hall's not about to change his mind.
I think it's Steve Brown on the far post who just makes sure he has a body contact with Coleman. I'm not so sure that that's a penalty. I think Steve Brown does a good job, uses his body to just make sure Coleman can't get contact on the ball.
Hayles. Ball. Clark. Beyond Horsfield. Came to Phelan, who did get a decent crack, but it was charged down. And Finnan tried to pick up the pieces, but wasn't able so to do. And Stuart has run now 60 yards from one box to the other and hit one. As good 20 seconds of action as the game has produced.
Good driving run here from Graham Stuart. Decides to keep going, attacking the heart of the defence. No one comes towards him, decides to try his luck, and Taylor gets all his body behind it, and then on the second attempt grabs the ball.
Forward by Morgan, well gathered by Horsfield, and well hit by Clark.
not a bad effort there from Lee Clark as he comes into Horsfield. You see he makes the forward run as the advanced midfield player, doesn't take a touch, tries to hit early, goes across the ball and just finds it, unfortunately it drifts away from the far post.
A little bit more afters involving Coleman and Svensson there. Newton. Coleman is getting very, very involved.
He's just on the edge, Chris, where I think there's an edge between competitiveness and just getting over the top, and he's got to be careful just to make sure that he doesn't get into that referee's book and pick up a yellow card.
Stuart emerging from trouble and finding some space. Carl Tyler long. Coleman got ahead of Hunt. Stewart pushed wide by Newton. Now Sean Newton again. He's hung it up deliciously, and it's turned in by Robinson. And Charlton lead, and thereby dream of extending their lead at the top of Division 1.
Slightly against the run of play, but good interplay between Stuart and Newton. Newton loved it, inviting ball into the box. I think it was that man Andy Hunt who got his head on it first. First save by Taylor, and Robinson, who'd been given a midfield role to break forward, finds himself with Johnny on the spot to knock it in the net. So a lovely ball in from Newton, invites his forward to go in there, and the opportunity dropped to Robinson, who gleefully from a yard smashes it into the back of the net. Charlton 1, Fulham 0.
And Alan Curbishley has reason to do more than sit and wonder now. He has something to hold on to. And this record-breaking win is a possibility. In again towards Svensson that time, whose header was just off target.
No reaction from Alan Curbishley, but I'm sure inside he is absolutely delighted. And again now it's Charlton who are forcing the pace. Ball into Svensson, the man who comes on. He's looking to bend it into the far corner. This time gets a header wide. But Charlton now will want to make sure they keep their concentration, they keep their discipline, and they ride out the next 5 minutes, because as we know, all sides are vulnerable once they score a goal.
This will have been dismaying for Fulham, who have defended so sturdily the evening long, and for whom a point you would have thought would have been a good point. They've won their last two. They're involved in a fairly ferocious dispute for what might be the last playoff position. The way things are looking at the moment, you'd think it's Charlton, Manchester City and Ipswich for the top two, then Barnsley and Huddersfield likely to be in the playoffs. So Fulham, though this is oversimplistic, perhaps disputing the final and sixth place with Birmingham and with Wolves. And it's Wolves against Tranmere tomorrow. Paul Bracewell can only require his team to do its job. Hayles. Oh, what a strike by Kevin Ball, and what a good save as well by Kiely.
What a fantastic save that was from Kiely. Ball ran onto the ball, it looked like it might be going past him. He swung the left foot, got a magnificent strike on it, and Kiely goes down to his right hand side to push it past the post. Good play by Ball, fantastic save by Kiely.
Kevin Ball still hasn't scored for Fulham. He won't have connected with a strike any better than that in his short stay at Craven Cottage. It's Goldbaek's corner. Kiely stayed on his line, and it was the correct option. Goldbaek invited to try and lift it back in. But Dean Kiely, who kept 19 clean sheets in Bury's relegation team last year, is now going about his business in a way that suggests he could be involved in a promotion outfit this time round. Ball struck it so well, but in the split second available to him, he moved with swiftness and athleticism to his right. Clark. It's got away from Rufus. It's Lee Clark for Fulham. Phelan. and out from beneath the crossbar and hooked to safety by Richard Rufus, and it was Brown again on the line to Charlton's rescue.
Well, Steve Brown, he's been a colossus back there, him and Richard Rufus. First time that we should probably seen Rufus get beat. Great feat it was by Lee Clark to skip past him. Ball squirmed away to Terry Phelan, who dinked up a lovely ball, maybe looking for one of his forwards like Horsfield to come and attack, and it was Steve Brown, the man on the spot again, to clear all the danger.
Foul by Stuart on Clark.
That's a silly one. I'm sure that's one that'll anger Alan Kirbytley, gives the opportunity. But as we see here, this is Lee Clark breaking forward. Richie Rufus goes to ground a little too early. Good block is by Newton. Ball squirms out to Phelan, and he stands it up. I think he's got to expect one of these forwards to be coming on there. Steve Brown clears the danger, and now Fulham have an opportunity from the free kick.
Brown closest now to Coleman, with Goldbaek over the free kick. Awkward one for the goalkeeper. Newton is able to lift it partially clear, though he didn't seem entirely at one with his bearings. Dean Kiely would have seen this very late.
Yeah. Chrissy Coleman seems to go past the ball. It's almost coming behind him. Kiely does well just to get a fist on it, and Newton ends up clearing it with his right foot.
Here by Tyler on Horsfield. Horsfield, as you mentioned, Robbie, very much an old-fashioned centre forward. I mean it as a compliment when I say he looks like Halifax Town. He's a man who looks like Borussia Dortmund and Germany and Liverpool. He's been around all the posh addresses, and he's up in the penalty area. Now then, if Newton keeps this in, there are possibilities for Charlton on the break. Stuart is going outside of him. Robinson inside the penalty area, and Newton has floated it disappointingly between 3 or 4 stools when a player of his creativity and invention would, you hoped, deliver rather more.
Just had the opportunity there, Newton, to maybe drive it at the defender. He had Graham Stuart making a great run on the outside of him. If he slipped Stuart's in on goal, and either decide to shoot himself or pull it back. And another good opportunity there, wasted by Charlton.
Riedle held off Rufus well. Horsfield was at the back of the penalty area. It came to Finnan. Oh, what a diving stop again by Brown. He hit that as cleanly as you could have wanted, and Brown is starting to take on heroic status at the back now for Charlton. Look at this.
This is great improvisation by Brown. The ball decides, diving header away, stops Kiely having to make a save, and that's all you can ask of your 2 centre halves.
Got to say, on another day, this scoots off the outside of your head and wrong foots the goalkeeper, but it's going right for Brown tonight, and every club needs a player like him. Player who lives and breathes the club and gives it everything. Phelan. Hayles. Straight at the keeper. There's been a glimpse or two for Fulham in the last few moments.
Smart turn and shot by Hayles. Instant first touch, swivel shot. Nice height for Kiely, the goalkeeper, but gives Fulham a chance to push forward and a little bit of encouragement.
And time is running out for Fulham now. It would have been Charlton's prettiest win of the season if indeed it turns out to be a win, but it is one that in terms of parochial pride, and more importantly in terms of Premiership ambition, matters hugely to them. Riedle penalised for his challenge on Brown. We head towards stoppage time.
I think it becomes a point in each season where it's points rather than performances that matter, and that was one of those times tonight. Charlton now with this 11-game run and find themselves sitting prettily top of the First Division.
Powell faced by Finnan. Robinson. 3 extra minutes to be played. Hunt. Robinson. Melville clear, but that's okay from Charlton's viewpoint to pin Fulham back. And there's no special hurry for Chris Powell to get over. Flags up. Referee let it go. Taylor cleared with all due haste. Riedle won it well aerially. Hayles is onto it now. 2 defenders between him and the penalty area. Hayward is up in support. Finnan is wide. Finnan lays it in. Header from Coleman. Out by Newton. Smashing ball from Newton just into the area where Charlton wanted it, down by the corner flag. And Hunt needn't show too much ambition here. Newton. So crushing by Sean Davis. Newton won't have any complaints about that. He was just waiting for it.
Intelligent football by Charlton, just running the clock down, prepared to draw in tackles and waste time in the corner. They're not going to concede a goal from this area.
Newton. Stuart going to deliver one here. Keeping the ball is of the utmost importance, and Hunt has managed to do that. Stuart. Newton. Actually, it is given away, but a lot of time has been wasted, and time is nearly up there. Terry Phelan on the point of losing in a Fulham shirt for the first time. Horsfield. Melville for Finnan. Hayles, Finnan, he's written the challenge, it's Finnan! In the very last seconds of the game. Indeed it was the last kick. And how close he came to rescuing a point for Fulham. Finnan with a left-footed crack which required the goalkeeper to tumble. But at the end of it all, it is Charlton's night, 7 points clear at the nationwide summit. A club record 9 straight league wins, 11 consecutive victories in all competitions, 14 matches unbeaten. Charlton now, it seems, are champions waiting to happen. By the end of the week, they could be in a Wembley semi-final. By the end of the season, in no small part thanks to John Robinson's goal here tonight, they should be back in the Premiership. Big night this for Charlton Athletic at the Valley, at the end of which they have secured a 1-0 win over their London neighbours Fulham.
Alan, new club record, 9 straight league wins. Must be delighted with that.
I am, and you know, it's not just these 9 games we've had. You know, we fell down here against Blackburn, obviously just before Christmas, but we had a great run before that, and so you know, it's not just 9. I think you can look at the last 20 games, and we've had a great time, really.
We should be achieving more, you know. I mean, end of the day, it's alright saying, oh yeah, we'd be done well, but we were unlucky. You know, we have to be winning games, and tonight, you know, we played well, I thought, and now perhaps we deserved a bit more than we got, but you know, that's the way it goes.
But Fulham have come here tonight, and they've given us the toughest game we've had at the Valley all season, and they can be very disappointed, I think, that they haven't gone away with something.
I've just said to the lads, you know, if they're Charlton, we've given them a game, and obviously, like I said, Alan said that, so we'll be all right.
We're delighted with the result. It's a fantastic result, which takes us into the cup game at the weekend.
We're going to go in there with obviously a lot of confidence, but I mean, it's going to be another tough game, and the main thing is we want to try and finish it one way or the other. There, we don't want a rearrange game kind of thing, because we'll have to play catch up with the Port Vale one. So yeah, I mean, we're going to look forward to it, as I say, and hopefully get into the semis and give the fans a day out at Wembley.
Yeah, everyone's looking quite forward to it. Got a nice break during Saturday, like from the league. But yeah, should be good going. But we're going to rest tomorrow and just take it easy.
Is it a distraction, or is it quite nice to get away from the pressure of the league?
No, we're really looking forward to it. I think that we've got the points tonight, and we come into this week, and I've been saying it, to anyone who wanted to listen, before the weekend. We had Wolves at home and Fulham at home and Bolton away, and we could end this week in the semi-final of the Cup and top of the league, or if we hadn't won the last 2 games, we could have ended this week out of the Cup and 3rd in the league, and that's the way football is. We're not going to get carried away, but we're looking forward to Saturday, and hopefully we can do it, and we'll have to wait and see.
Trevor Harris with the questions. Gavin, Alan Kirbishley said it all there, really. Digging out a victory, that was absolutely accurate, wasn't it, for Charlton?
Yes, they needed to do that. They're at the top of the division. They've come down from the Premiership, and this season they're under pressure to see how they react to that, to bounce back up. They've got to the top of the division, and they dug out a result tonight.
Fulham experienced and difficult opponents. Again, he said, it was the most difficult game at the Valley all season.
Because now they're up there, everyone comes to beat them, and Fulham are a good team. We played them at QPR earlier in the season over their place, and they played very well. They can pass the ball well, they've got a good pattern of play, and they keep possession very well, and they did that in the early stages.
Richard Rufus, central to Charlton's success tonight.
Yeah, certainly Richard is a colossus for them. He's a terrific athlete. That's the big thing about Richard. I did a bit of training with him a few years ago, and he can run any distance very quickly, makes up ground very quickly, and his timing of his tackles here, you can see it's a terrific tackle. He couldn't be out by a split second on that one, otherwise he's in trouble. Here he turns, Horsfield got away for a second there, he turns very quickly, gets another good tackle in. But he's grown in confidence over the last couple of years as well.
Exactly what you said about his athleticism that you found personally when you trained him in there. But Alan Kirbishley, he then made a tactical switch that it seemed to be quite important prior to John Robinson's goal.
I think it was, because early on Fulham outnumbered them in the midfield area, and Lee Clark was able to break forward at will. When Alan Kirbishley matched up the system for system, then it allowed Charlton to break forward a bit more, and Graham Stuart did that very well for the goal. He makes a run here, gets forward well, checks back, and Sean Newton puts an excellent delivery in, which Andy Hunt heads down well, and John Robson gets on the rebound. A well-worked goal, and what Charlton rely on, it's a trademark goal, getting crosses into the box with their wide players. Newton and Robertson, both good deliverers, and there's the winger getting on the end of it.
Goalkeeper won't be too happy, will he?
No, it's difficult for him, but he would have...
I know how difficult it is.
Yeah, keeper of his standard would be disappointed.
There was a big save by Dean Kiely a couple of minutes afterwards, wasn't it? Just a couple of minutes after that goal.
It was a terrific save. I know he's very well thought of at the Valley, and he gets down very quickly here, good position, and he was a little bit unsighted as well.
And if it wasn't Kiely and Rufus, the rest of them were, because Rufus is beaten there, isn't he? But they defended for their lives.
They did, and here we see a player who I thought was magnificent tonight, Steve Brown. He's covering on the line. That was probably a certain goal, and in the first half he did the same thing. He's a good tackler, and he's been made skipper in the absence of Mark Kinsella.
How do you see them on Saturday at Bolton in the FA Cup quarter-final?
Well, obviously it's a tough game for them, but I fancy them because they can dig out results like this. That's the character of the side. They can go away to places like Bolton, and they can come away with a victory. And the form that they're in, they'll just be going there with bags of confidence.
What about a word about Fulham? Have they been sidetracked by the Worthington Cup and FA Cup exploits that they had?
Well, Fulham have come a long way in the last couple of years, and as we've said, they're a good side, and they've been involved in other cup competitions, so maybe it has taken a little bit of a toll on them, but they're still a good side, and I know we've got to play them in a couple of weeks as well.
OK. Thanks, Gavin. Well, in a few moments we'll be previewing the FA